Welcome to SOKENT. Click that subscribe button, thumbs up the motherfucking video, leave a comment, feel free to click one of the donation links. Today we're going to be talking about some NBA basketball. And the title of this video is, should Carmelo Anthony retire or stay in the NBA? Now, before I answer that question, let me start off by saying this. Carmelo Anthony is my favorite basketball player in the NBA currently. Before that, my favorite basketball player of all time is Tracy McGrady. Since I was younger, I've always been a fan of basketball players that can score. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people nowadays, they base their favorite basketball player off of who has the most rings. I don't give a fuck about rings. I just don't. I don't think that makes you better than somebody else. Allen Iverson did not win any rings, and Allen Iverson to me is like a top 3 player of all time. Who else? Vince Carter has not won any rings. Vince Carter is a top 15 player of all time. And the list goes on and on. Charles Barkley. There's a number of players that never won a ring. That's very good. And with that being said, let's get into it. So, Carmelo Anthony last week was cut by the Houston Rockets after just 15 games. And I don't think it was fair. I think it's very weird. I truly believe that there was an agenda by Mike D'Antoni to help ruin Carmelo Anthony's career. And I just think that it's sad that Carmelo Anthony fell for the bait. Now, for those that don't know, Mike D'Antoni coached Carmelo Anthony while he was on the New York Knicks. And Carmelo Anthony had a lot to do with Mike D'Antoni losing his job while he was coaching Carmelo Anthony. Not only that, the Rockets recently rehired a defensive coordinator that coached Carmelo Anthony while he was playing with the Denver Nuggets, and he ended up getting his job fired as well because he was having issues with Carmelo Anthony. There's a lot of people in the NBA that do not like Carmelo Anthony, and most of these people are coaches and general managers and things like that. So the reason why you're seeing the media coming after Carmelo like this is because, for one, it's clickbait. The media is just doing what they're supposed to do. They want to make money. And not only that, Carmelo has no rings. So it's very easy to sabotage a basketball player's career when they have no rings. They did the same thing to Allen Iverson. From the moment Allen Iverson stepped into the NBA, he was criticized because he had braids, he had tattoos, he was an amazing scorer, and he was very passionate about his craft just like Carmelo is. And a lot of people don't like Carmelo Anthony because, they think he doesn't play defense. They think that he's overrated. And Carmelo Anthony is just somebody that's easy to, come at. So with that being said, let me go back to the main topic of this video. Should Carmelo Anthony retire or should he stay in the NBA? I believe Carmelo Anthony should do everything in his power to stay in the NBA. And the reason why is because Carmelo Anthony, in my opinion, has a lot of gas left in the tank. He has a lot of gas left in the tank. How come Manu Ginobili stayed in the league so long, but you guys want Carmelo Anthony to retire at 33 years old? How come? How come Tim Duncan stayed in the NBA so long, but you guys want Carmelo Anthony to retire at 33? How come Dirk Nowitzki can't even score 10 points a game at this point in his career? Dirk Nowitzki is about 42 years old. How come you guys want Carmelo to retire at 33? I'm going to tell you why. Because y'all want to see this man fall off the throne. Y'all want to see this man... y'all want to see him hit rock bottom, and I understand it. I get it. Carmelo doesn't play defense. You guys think he's overrated. He has no rings. I get it. But at the end of the day, you can't even name 30 players that's in the NBA right now that's better than Carmelo Anthony. Listen to what I'm saying. The reason why Carmelo Anthony had problems with the Houston Rockets is because he was not in the starting lineup. Carmelo Anthony should have been starting. There's no reason why Carmelo Anthony was coming off the bench. There's no reason. It's ridiculous. Carmelo Anthony should have been starting over Eric Gordon. Period. Eric Gordon has never been a better player than Carmelo Anthony. Never. And he never will be. And with that being said, I think Carmelo Anthony needs to go to a team where he can start. If he can't go to a team where he can be in the starting lineup, I think he should retire. Because I don't think he needs to come off the bench. And you know what? If he does go to a team where he comes off the bench, it has to be somewhere that believes in him. If a team doesn't believe, if all of the 30 teams don't believe in Carmelo Anthony's ability, then he should retire. But I believe somebody's going to pick him up. In my opinion, I personally think that he needs to go to a team that has no stars. He needs to go to a team like the Orlando Magic, or he needs to go to a team like the Sacramento Kings, or he needs to go to a team like, even if he went to the Milwaukee Bucks to go play with Giannis, I think that would fit well. He needs to go to a team where he can stay in the starting lineup and just score. He can't be on a team with stars like James Harden and Chris Paul, because what's going to happen is whenever something goes wrong, they're going to blame Melo. At this point in Carmelo Anthony's career, the media is doing everything in their power to make as much money off of his name as long as he's in the NBA. They did the same thing to LeBron James before he won a ring. You guys remember that? Before LeBron won his first ring with the Miami Heat, what was the media doing? They were slandering LeBron's name. They were saying how he's not a king. What's a king without a ring? They were running LeBron's name through the dirt. And it just so happens that Carmelo was never able to win a ring, because I don't think that's been Carmelo's main priority in his career. He had an opportunity to go to the Chicago Bulls after his contract ended with New York. Instead, he decided to stay. So with that being said, he needs to go to a team where he can really showcase his skills. I think he would have had a better time with the Atlanta Hawks than on the Houston Rockets, just because it's too much pressure on Carmelo at this point in his career. He has too much pressure on his shoulders. Everybody's slandering that man. It's not easy to play basketball when the media is slandering you every chance they get. Carmelo's under a lot of pressure right now. He's under pressure to be that same guy he's been his entire career, scoring 30 points a game. At this point in Carmelo's career, he doesn't have to do that. He should be able to go to a team, fit in, and just do what he can do. So, if he ends up going to a team that's a contender because Carmelo Anthony is at the later stages of his career, he might not be around too much longer. But I personally think he has a lot of gas left in the tank. I think Carmelo could play another 4 or 5 years because he's never really had a bad injury. The only problem with Carmelo is sometimes he's out of shape. If he can just get back in shape, I think he'll be fine. You know, of course his defense is horrible, but his defense has been bad his entire career. There's nothing new about that. So if he's going to go to a team that's a contender, I think the best team for Carmelo to go to is either the Boston Celtics or the 76ers. I don't think that Carmelo should go to the Lakers. It's too much pressure. If he goes to the Lakers, the minute that the Lakers lose a couple games, they're going to slam Carmelo's name through the dirt. He needs to go to either the Boston Celtics, where he can play with a guy like Kyrie, because the Celtics are stacked. So if he comes off the bench for the Celtics, and not only that, Gordon Hayward is having a really bad season this year. And I know it's a little early. It's only been about 20 games. But Gordon Hayward has been fucking awful this year. So, you know, Carmelo going to the Boston Celtics, that's an opportunity for Carmelo to maybe get in the starting lineup. If he can come off the bench and he can show that he can still score 25 points, 20 points a game, and Gordon Hayward is only scoring 8 points, 10 points, 11 points, like he's been doing this whole season so far, I think Carmelo Anthony could possibly get into that starting lineup. We've already seen Kyrie Irving come out and say that he wishes that his team had a veteran that could lead them in the right direction. So it's a big possibility that Carmelo could indeed go to the Boston Celtics, and he could possibly win a ring there. And with the 76ers, they just got Jimmy Butler. I think Carmelo coming off the bench would be a great scenario for him as well. Because that's a very great defensive team, so he won't have to worry about being too good on the defense. He could just come into the game and score. And with that being said, man, I don't think Carmelo should retire. I think if Carmelo retired, he would just be, folding under pressure and just doing what the media wants. And I don't think at this point in Carmelo's career he should do that. I think he should prove himself and prove everybody wrong that he can still ball and he can still be one of the top scorers in the league. And with that being said, leave a fucking comment, subscribe, thumbs up my fucking video, donate $1 so I go to McDonald's or get that 4 for $4 from Wendy's. And with that being said, I'm out. Skirt.